Whenever you are ready, honey.
So, we spent years fighting for our right to vote, but what if someone told you that your vote doesn't even matter anyways? When a person turns 18, it not only marks the typical age of a graduating high school student, but it also grants some serious bragging rights. For seniors that are graduating during an election year, it's supposedly a privilege to turn 18 before the polls so that one can participate in the upcoming election. But what if you were told that your vote in the presidential election, while accounted for physically, goes unaccounted for result-wise? But how is that possible? Until the presidential election is raised up at the Electoral College, our votes will wrongfully continue to be sufficed by the placebo that is the popular vote. The popular vote literally counts for nothing when it comes to electing the president and vice president. So what exactly is the Electoral College? The Electoral College is a system of 538 electors total, and this is a representative of 435 representatives and 100 senators nationwide. Three of the electors are from D.C., and an interesting fact is the residents of D.C. just got their right to vote recently, and beforehand they weren't able to vote because they were part of our nation's capital, which is a fun fact. And the number varies with each state. So it's based on population of each state. So the Electoral College is used during the presidential election to select the winner. But there are many unlawful parts of the Electoral College to be aware of. These reasons begin with electors are previously pledged to a specific candidate. Though some unpledged electors are possible, there are very few occasions when an elector has voted contrary to their pledge. So more often than not, the elector is going to vote predisposed to their pledge no matter what. So if you have predisposed voting, that means whatever elector you choose to be part of the election, you're going to know where they're going to vote anyways, whether they're voting Republican or Democratic. So therefore, the results of the election are basically construed one way or the other just in the beginning of the election. So the second reason is the winner takes all basis. This is a popular vote that takes place within a state to try and sway the electors to vote for that particular candidate. The only problem with it is the electors are previously disposed to the candidate that they want, so they're allowed not to take the vote as is. The people who voted contrary to the electors will never have their voices heard because their votes are thrown out. An example of this is if you have one elector and and they are voted for as Republican and Democratic. If 51% of the people vote for the elector who are Republican and therefore the Republican candidate wins, 49% of those Democrats' votes will never be heard due to the popular vote in the election not even matter. It doesn't even matter. So the votes contrary are being unaccounted for, which is unlawful. The third reason is the popular vote has disagreed with the Electoral College vote 3 times in history. So this happened in 1876 with Hayes versus Tilden, 1888 with Harrison versus Cleveland, and 2000 with Bush versus Ford. So if there's a disagreement with the popular vote, does it make sense for our votes to be stifled? Meanwhile, the Electoral College not agreeing with what we see as a people, as a nation, being heard louder than us as a democracy. So is there an error to the system of adopting the popular vote? There certainly is, because there are definitely people that are going to be uninformed or ineligible voters. So basically these are voters that aren't going to know anything about the election in the first place, so they're not going to know the candidates the way that we should know them to be able to vote
So bad.
to be able to vote for them like rightfully. So if you like this candidate for an unspecific reason, such as the way that they look or the way that they speak, meanwhile you have someone that might be representing your country that isn't the correct choice. So, however, what a solution is if they were told that their votes would legitimately count, as in 1 vote per person, so if you vote in the election, you know that you will be counted for, would this spark political interest? So, I think it certainly would, because it would allow people to understand that their vote really does matter in the election. So in turn, could this spark help bring new ideas back into our capital? So Basically, if we created a new influx of voters that are informed on their candidates, would this in turn create an influx of new ideas and new regiments to bring into the capital? And some of my slides got deleted. In short, the Electoral College is an outdated system. It utilizes technology that dates back to the 1700s. With today's technology, votes are counted at a lightning quick pace. However, these votes do not count at all towards the winner of the presidential election. The popular vote does not factor into the outcome of the presidential election at all, so why should it be there unless the Electoral College is rightfully abolished? That's why when it comes down to the presidential election, I personally will not vote until the Electoral College is abolished. The other elections are treated justly, so why can't the presidential election be treated the same way? Until the popular vote is the only thing that counts in the presidential election, the way we elect our president is certainly undemocratic. So, as the information about demonstrates, until the popular vote counts the way it should, our votes do not matter in the presidential election. The Electoral College is an outdated system, and until we have adopted the popular vote, which utilizes democracy to the optimum level, our votes will not count, so why should we vote at all? It may be harsh thing to say, but your vote does not matter in the presidential election. It is never on the screen, but it means absolutely nothing.